And especially if we have in mind that this life ends with death, and we don't know really what's coming afterwards. Buddhists and other religions say physical death is not the end of the story, it goes on, and your mind, and whatever you did with your mind now will go on. And so there is reason enough to not only consider this small span of our life, but think large. And so what is it that in the long run will give us happiness? And seeing how the emotions always come in the way and don't give us happiness leads then to a genuine renunciation. Not a renunciation that is like a rejection, like saying, oh, this is really ugly. I hate anger, and I just don't want to see it anymore, and so I just really suppress it, and I always smile, and so I don't have it anymore. The others have it, and you know, these kinds of ideas of renunciation, or even thinking life's too complicated, and I'm going to go to the mountains, and no one is going to disturb me, and I'm just going to sit there in meditation. And then everything will be fine and I will be happy. This is also kind of an idea of renunciation that people have. And when we went to retreat, and there were people saying, oh, you have a nice time, yeah, you have it good. Because they were thinking this is like a vacation. Because those who know a little bit of meditation, you know, sitting down is not the direct answer to suffering. Is not giving you a happiness right away. That would be so too easy. I mean, you would just sit down, have a coffee, and then our problems would be solved. So, anyway, these were sidetracks to wrong ideas about renunciation. The real renunciation is understanding what leads to suffering, and then deciding, I want to get rid of this. Yeah, maybe that is enough about the first approach. It is then something one would have to discuss in detail for every emotion. How do we recognize it in our daily lives? That here's where the emotion started, this is how it developed, this is how I reacted, and that led to this and that form of suffering. In a way, sitting meditation, becoming clear and training to look into your mind without acting it out right away, is a way to, it will take care of itself. Yeah? It is a way to see how we function and to see also how we get caught up in emotions. The reason why we don't see it when we are not trained is that it is so fast. It is so fast, and already the word that you shouldn't have said pops out of the mouth, and you didn't even see when it was, your anger was first triggered. The one thing about the ego, remember at the beginning I talked about the sense of here am I, separate from all the others. The ego always wants to position itself in a way that it is superior to the others, or at least safe. Yeah. And so when this is challenged, if we are not trained, then we immediately respond to something. Someone is criticizing us, or we only think he criticized us with a remark, and already something is working inside you. What did you mean, and how can I give it back, and how can I establish that that sense of myself, and especially when there were others around who heard it, how can I make up for it that they don't think what this person said is true? So I mean, when you talk about it, it sounds a little crazy, but when we are honestly looking in our mind, so much energy goes in all these plays, right? Right, only me. I don't know. So then the next approach, what I said about Mahayana approach, a broader approach, where we said only dealing with myself is not enough, but I have to develop a larger mind of loving kindness and compassion that takes in all the others. When dealing with emotions, the approach also is, okay, relationships with others may be troublesome, but they are also very rich. So let's not try to avoid them, but make the best out of them. Take them as a way to learn something. Yeah? And so in that approach, we work with remedies. So it is all based, of course, on the first training where we get clear and we are able to see an emotion coming up in our mind. We are able to see a thought come up in our mind with energy that makes it more juicy, more emotional. Where, coming back to that example, where someone criticized us and in a way we are already on our way of planning how to get back at that person. And when we have the clarity to catch ourselves during that process, and we have thought about long enough to be convinced, I don't want to get into this play of giving back what I received and anger against anger. So I was hurt, I felt hurt, so I want to give back hurt. That is what the definition of anger is, wanting to harm, wanting to hurt. Then when we can catch ourselves in that process, then very deliberately we say, no, this person might have had the intention to hurt me, might have not, but this is not really what I'm dealing with. I'm stuck with my mind. The person will walk away, but here I am, and I have this structure of wishing to hurt just because I feel hurt. And I want to stop that because that is causing pain to me. It might cause pain to others, but it causes pain to me to be in this state of mind where everything clenches and, you know, anger can be physical, where we suffer. So I really don't want to go in this direction. And so I train the opposite of it. I train patience with myself, first of all, of having that reaction of anger. Patience in the sense of, okay, here I am, this is where I am, but I don't want to act it out. I can bear this energy of anger coming up without giving the same back, but I want to give back the opposite. And the opposite would be loving kindness and compassion. So out of a deep understanding that the person who threatened us with a remark, for example, did that because they're in the same ego struggle. They have their same sense of identity that was threatened maybe by us, maybe by something else. Doesn't really matter. And they just acted out because of ignorance, because of not knowing how to find happiness. So this negativity I want to embrace with my with a positive reaction. So then in my attitude, I have understanding for where this aggression towards me comes from, and whatever I will do as a response will be nurtured by the wish to find happiness for that person or for myself. And now you might think, oh, does that mean I have to swallow down whatever happens to me? Of course, no, it does not. But the basic attitude that we have towards the person, that has to be based on loving kindness and compassion and understanding our human condition. What outwardly then we will get back to the person, that comes out of an intelligence and an understanding of the whole situation. So in some situations it could be just to not say anything, and that will relax the other person and create an openness for genuine communication.